The sister of the person who died on the Bibby Stockholm has said that her brother, um, Leonard Faruku, was treated like an animal on the barge. She says that other men were screaming very loudly at 3 o'clock in the morning for periods of time. When I spoke to him last time, she said he told me that the conditions in the boat were not bad, but they were treated by the guards like animals. And it's depressing to hear of this. She says, my brother, when he arrived in the UK, gave the Home Office the address of our relatives in London. They were contacted by the police, who told them what had happened. According to our relatives, who were in touch with the police, Leonard that night at 11 o'clock had some problems, was calmed down by the security guard. At 3 a.m. he was found dead. We don't have any more details about how he died. He was born in Durrës, which is the seaside town in Albania, and he hoped to find indefinite leave to remain, and the first asylum seekers were brought onto the barge in October, and 2 months after that there was the Legionnaire's disease, and it's people are saying that the way guards are treating the people on that barge, they're treating them like prisoners. They can't imagine 500 people living there. The situation will get worse, and if people come there might be more incidents like this. The food is not good, and the treatment of people on the barge is simply wrong. If this man was Albanian, and if the government has this so-called pact with Albania, then why wasn't he sent back to Albania? Presumably because there's a reason for him to stay here. And it makes no sense that he was locked up in the Bibby Stockholm. The facts need to be established, and the treatment that he received is unacceptable. But it all goes together with this hostile environment where even people who have a legitimate reason for wanting to be here are treated as criminals. Now, if you go back to Mrs. Thatcher, she talks about illegal migrants being returned. And she says it's part of the international understanding, and if this fails, then we have chaos. But her and this video, I might copy it and post it, because this video is doing the rounds at the moment, and it's a great mistake, because Mrs. Thatcher is not talking about the same thing that Suella Braverman and James Cleverly are talking about. Because Braverman redefined what it was to be an illegal migrant. An illegal migrant for Mrs. Thatcher was somebody who had applied for refugee status and who had found that application was refused. An illegal migrant for Suella Braverman is somebody who has come to Britain by an illegal route. That is not what Mrs. Thatcher would have understood. That is why Mrs. Thatcher said that the process was conducted according to UN regulations. Let's listen to what she's got to say.
Those who are genuine refugees, and that is determined again by the United Nations, will not be returned. Those who are illegal immigrants will be returned. And it is customary international law for countries to receive their own immigrants back into their country. And if his right honourable gentleman is suggesting that we ever get to a position when you cannot return illegal immigrants to their country of origin, then he is proposing international chaos. Those who are genuine refugees, and that is determined again by the United Nations, will not be returned.
As I say, this is a video which is doing the rounds. It's on Twitter, and it's misrepresenting what Thatcher believed. Thatcher would not. I'm strongly of the opinion Thatcher would not have endorsed the current policies by Rishi Sunak, James Cleverly, and Suella Braverman, which attack the rule of law. Thatcher, among other things, was herself a lawyer. She knew what the rule of law was, and she would not have attacked the foundations of our society. She would not have attacked our law and our Supreme Court, which, of course, in the days of Mrs. Thatcher would have been the House of Lords. She would not have done it. This is a misrepresentation of reality.